Okay, so in previous class we completed brain, means we started central nervous system, and central nervous system consists brain and a spinal cord, and we completed brain. Spinal cord left to be discussed. So let's start with a few questions related to the brain. Okay, raise your hand. Tell me the different part of the brain. Okay, one hand, two hands. Out of 14, 4 hands only. Anyway, Shema, you tell me. Yes.
Okay, ma'am, the different parts of brain are cerebellum, and medulla oblongata.
Okay, that's good. So there are the three parts in the brain: cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. So they are the three parts. Okay. Now, Umra, you tell me, what is the function of cerebrum?
Ma'am, the function of cerebrum.
Hmm.
Ma'am, this is the largest brain. Part of the
Largest
brain.
part of the brain. Largest part of the brain. Okay. Yes. Then.
Ma'am, this cerebrum controls functions such as our memory, speech, thought, sight, smell, taste, and hearing. All these actions.
All the voluntary action, the action which we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
control. Good. Dua, now you tell me function of cerebellum.
Ma'am, cerebellum is helping us to maintain our body balance and to coordinate our muscular activity.
To coordinate our muscular activity as well as to maintain body balance while all the activities, while moving, while sitting. So its function is to maintain balance. Now, okay, now the next question, just raise your hand. What is the function of medulla oblongata? What about other students? Vidyan, Shafia, Shafa, Kukasha, Arfa, Azra, Afifa. Why not raise hand? Shafia, Ganul Abdin. What? Some who said, ma'am?
Function of medulla oblongata.
Who is this?
Umar Khan.
Umar Khan. Umar Khan raised hand, I know. I'm talking about all these three: Afifa, Arfa, Azra, Ukasha, Shafaq, Shafia, Sheikh Vidyan, Zainul Abdin. Where are they? Yes, Shafia Iqbal, tell me the function of medulla oblongata. Yes, Shafia. Are you here in class?
Ma'am, what's your question?
Function of medulla oblongata. Yes. No response. Azra, yes, you tell me.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Shafaq, okay.
Ma'am, medulla oblongata is responsible for the involuntary actions.
Oblongata. Yes.
Yes, sorry. It is responsible for the involuntary actions.
What does it mean, involuntary actions?
Ma'am, your voice is not coming clearly.
What does it
Please
mean?
explain.
Involuntary action.
What does it mean? Okay, so involuntary action means such as like breathing and
Just
means that
say
are not in control of us,
that
in our control,
they are in our control.
that are not in our control.
That are not in our control. Yes,
Ma'am, but
involuntary.
like it can,
Yeah.
yeah, such as breathing and like breathing, right?
Yes. Involuntary actions, those we cannot control. That control means the body control itself, the brain command itself. Body gave the means what you can say, whatever the instruction want from the brain, directly body organs send to the brain. So they are just go internally, they are not in our control. Anyway, let's start spinal cord. Spinal cord is also very important part of central nervous system. So, spinal cord is a very important part of the central nervous system. It's cylindrical structure. It's also protected by bony spine. Like skull is protected by bony. Sorry, the brain is protected by bony skull. It's also protected by bony spine or the vertebral columns. So it's also having the bony covering around it, that is called vertebral column, and it extends from behind the medulla oblongata to the end of the vertebral column. Here the picture is given on the page number 70. So it's started from where? It is started from the medulla oblongata, means medulla oblongata. It continues to the spinal cord, and that's why medulla oblongata also known as brain stem. So it's having the bony covering around it, that is called vertebral column, and it extends from what you can say medulla oblongata to the lower of the back. You can say that the end of the vertebral column. Here it is, see, it's here the picture on the page number 70, figure 4.4. In this picture, do you have book in front of you, all of you? Anyway, so book should be there in front of you, and I hope so everyone is having book now. So it has bony covering around it, and it has membranous covering also. Like the brain is having the membranous covering, 3 membranous covering that we call meninges. In the same way, 3 membranous layers are there in around the spinal cord also, and they are also known as meninges. So here also the 3 membranous layers are there, they are known as meninges, and which continue from the brain. Means brain is having the 3 continuous layer, 3 layers, and that continue to the spinal cord till the end. So the spinal cord is also having the 3 membranous layer, and they are known as meninges. Spinal cord transmits sensory impulses from different organ in the body to the brain. So it's a connection between brain and the body part, you can say. So spinal cord, it's the connection between brain and the body part. So you can say that it helps to transmit sensory impulses from different body part organ to the brain, or from brain to the different body part. In both the way, they because spinal cord is what? It's a bundle of nerves. It's nothing, it's just a bundle of nerves. So it conducts motor impulses from brain to muscles, and sensory impulses from organ to the brain, and it also a control center for many reflex action. So this spinal cord is a center for the center to control the reflex action as well. So it's a connection between brain and the body part, and it also control reflex action. So they are the 2 main function of spinal cord. Now you just raise your hand and tell me that how many layers are there around the spinal cord? Okay, Azra, you tell me. Azra, you tell me. So Azra was not responded and Umar given the answer that they are called meninges. Okay. So now the next part.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ma'am, like, actually the problem is that you asked me the question, but I was not able to unmute myself. It was showing
Okay.
that the host is
Okay.
not allowing the participants,
Okay,
so
okay.
that's why I could not answer you.
Okay, now you give me the answer. Yes.
Ma'am, I want to answer you, but you are not unmuting me.
So now you answer. You can answer now.
Yes, so three layers around the spinal cord.
They are called meninges. Okay. Anyway, so let's start peripheral nervous system. So central nervous system we covered, that consists of brain and spinal cord, and that we done. Now peripheral nervous system. So it consists of all the nerves that extend from the central nervous system to other part of the body. There are two types of nerves. They are known as cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So how many types of nerves are there? Two types of nerves are there. They are cranial and the spinal. Cranial means brain. So the nerves which are arises from the brain, they are known as cranial nerves, and which are arises from the spinal cord, they are known as spinal nerves. So let's start from the cranial nerves. That is, they nerves originate from the brain. I told you cranium means brain. Cranium means brain, so they start from brain. That's why they are known as cranial nerves. So this is spinal cord here. So the nerves which are arises from the spinal cord, they are known as spinal nerve. Now right now we are on cranial nerves.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Okay, so these nerves from where
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Still it is breaking. Still it is breaking.
No, ma'am, it is
Actually listen, those are having some connectivity problem. They might have means some interruption in the voice, but mostly means one or two are, if when you are speaking your voice is interrupted, but rest are I can listen properly. So those are having some connectivity problem. Their voice is not clear to me, and my voice may be not clear to them also. So that is the question, mean that is the problem of connectivity. Anyway, so these cranial nerves originate from the brain, and there are 12 pair of cranial nerves. How many pair? 12 pair. And they transmit both sensory and motor signals. Sensory and motor signals means they transmit the message from the brain to the organ, and from organ to the brain. So they transmit both sensory and motor signal. Optic nerve and auditory nerves are example of cranial nerves. So optic nerve, the nerve of eye. Auditory nerves, those are there in the ear. Auditory nerves are there in the ear. Optic nerves are there in the eyes. So they are the example of cranial nerves. Now spinal nerves. So nerves that originate from the spinal cord are called spinal nerves. They are mixed nerves and are 31 pair in number. So the cranial nerve, they arises from the brain, and they are 12 in number. And spinal nerve, they are 31 pair, and they originate from the spinal cord. They are mixed nerve, and they means spinal nerve, they are the mixed nerves. So here peripheral nervous system made up of only nerves. Nerves are of two types, that is cranial nerve and the spinal nerves. Then the last part, that is autonomic nervous system. So before starting the autonomic nervous system, now you just tell me what is peripheral nervous system. Yes.
Ma'am,
So just raise your hand and tell me what is peripheral nervous system. Okay. 7 hands are already there. I don't know for this question. Okay, Azra, you tell me.
all right, ma'am. Peripheral nervous system. Ma'am, it consists of all nerves which extend from the central nervous system to other parts of the body. And there are two types of peripheral nervous system: cranial nerves and spinal nerves.
Okay. Yes, Nabia, what are cranial nerves?
Alright, ma'am. So the cranial nerves. Ma'am, cranial nerves, these are the nerves which are originating from the brain, and we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, means there are totally 24 cranial nerves present, and their function is to transmit both the sensory and motor signals. Yes, ma'am. And examples we can take as optic nerve and auditory nerve.
Okay.
Ma'am, but Navya said that there are 24 cranial nerve pairs. 12 pairs of cranial nerves are there. That means
become the
totally there
24.
are 24
They
cranial
become
nerves.
24.
I got it.
Means 24 nerves or 12 pair. The same thing.
12 pairs of cranial nerves. Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Okay. Now,
Ma'am, can I take?
Umrah, you already got the chance. Fatma Zafar, yes.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Fatma Zafar, you tell me what are spinal
Yes,
nerve.
ma'am.
What are
There are
spinal nerve?
that comes from the spinal cord, and they are called the spinal nerve, and they are 31 pairs of spinal nerve, and they are also called mixed nerves.
Okay. Okay.
But I didn't understand that. What do they mean by mixed nerve?
Mixed nerve, they can carry the what you can say impulses in both the way. Means they can in bi-directional they can work. Yesterday only I told that these sensory
Yes,
and the
ma'am, we
motor
interconnect
nerve,
the
they are the
sensory and the motor
unidirect. They carry the messages in unidirection. They can what you can say impulses. They can send their impulses in both the direction at the time of need. Okay, they are interconnected sort of. Means they are these are the nerves are interconnected to the brain and the organ, and means they capable to send the impulses in both the direction. Now before starting the autonomic nervous system, fact file is there related to the meningitis. So meningitis is a disease. Meningitis is the inflammation of the protective meninges. Inflammation means swelling with the pain, and swelling occur due to some infection. So meningitis is the inflammation of the protective meninges covering the brain and the spinal cord, and the inflammation occur due to bacterial infection in the cerebrospinal fluid. Means in cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid between the meninges is infected with the bacteria, and because of that the inflammation is started on the meninges. So, it can be life threatening because of the inflammation reaches to the brain and spinal cord, and symptoms that occur are headache, fever and stiff neck. So meningitis is the inflammation of the protective meninges, and that's because the infection occur in the cerebrospinal fluid, and this can be life threatening because the infection reaches to the brain, and symptoms are headache, fever and stiff neck. Now autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system consists of a pair of chain of nerve fibers located on either side of the backbone, and these nerves work opposite to each other. They are responsible for regulating the internal body functions which are not under our conscious control, such as heartbeat. Conscious control means they are involuntary actions. Involuntary actions we discussed. The action which we cannot control. So they are not under our conscious control. They such as heartbeat, blood flow, breathing, swallowing. This all they all comes under this means like under unconscious control. Action that are not under our control are called involuntary action, that I already told you. So autonomous nervous system is of two types: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So autonomic nervous system is how many types? Sympathetic type and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Yes, repeat in your heart. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. All of you repeat in your heart. Okay? That's very important to repeat the terms with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Got it, everyone? The terminology you should repeat after me, otherwise it will.
Yes, ma'am.
Whenever I spell out or I pronounce any new term, you should what you can say pronounce with me only. If you have some confusion, you can ask at the same time also. Okay. Anyway, so sympathetic, let's start with the sympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic nervous system prepare the body for action toward violent and intense physical activity that require alertness and energy. Means for any sudden action, you can say, for the activity, you can say the body need extra energy, for body need extra alertness. So this sympathetic nervous system, it prepare the body for action, for that sudden action, you can say, or for any action. Means like for the action we know that body need energy. So that energy or that alertness that is required for the activity, for required for that action, for that sympathetic nervous system prepare the body. Means you can say it give instruction, or it helps to ready make ready the body for that action. So it prepare the body for the action. And parasympathetic is meant to restore and establish the body into normal condition. So it takes back to the normal condition. Parasympathetic nervous system, it takes back to the normal condition. Sympathetic, whenever any sudden action or any sudden activity need by the body, this sympathetic nervous system help to what you can say help to do that action, help the body to face that harsh condition, you can say. Like suppose body needs at the time of fear, suppose the body need more strength to face that condition. So that for that, what are the other things the body needed to be stable? These all things are means informed, these all organs are informed by the sympathetic nervous system to what you can say to provide the more energy for that activity. Like at the time of suppose running only, we need more oxygen. So the more oxygen, from how will we get? More respiration should be. More respiration means more energy, more respiration, more oxygen. So these all organs should be involved, and how they should take part in this activity by getting the information. So the sympathetic nervous system, they inform these organs to be more active, so that the body can get the enough amount of energy to fulfill that activity. And parasympathetic nervous system, it takes back to the normal condition again.
So, ma'am, for example, if we are like running, if I'm like running, then my sympathetic nervous system comes in account. But when I'm done with all my physical thing, I stop, then my parasympathetic nervous system comes in account. It tries to regulate my body temperature as normal, and it tries to Re-establish the
This
body.
normalizing is also a separate whole system. Means it's not. It's like you have stopped your work. How the body knows about it. This information is done. This work is completed by the parasympathetic nervous system. Are you getting it? Means you stopped how the body
Yes,
knows
ma'am.
about it. Like the weather changes, sometimes the very harsh weather means the cold or sometimes very hot. How your body knows about it? The nerves which are present on the skin, they inform to the brain, and brain tell that it is very hot or it is very cold. So nervous system, that is only work, they just only carry the message and inform to the organ, then only the things can be accomplished. Are you getting it? So when you're done with the things, then the work of the parasympathetic nervous system start. They start informing, stop doing this, come to the normalized condition. Now the body not need more. Getting it?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, after the work of parasympathetic nerve is done, then what? Then means then
Normal functioning will be
both
going
of
on.
them.
Then the body will work. This then the normal functioning will be going on. Then normally what the body needs, accordingly only the body gives means body asks, give the, what you can say, whatever the information body want, they just send the message to the brain, the internal organ, and they get the information from the brain only. Means they directly send the message to the brain, and the internal organ, they get the message from the brain only. So the involuntary action, they are their self control. The organ, their our will is not there. They just internally, means like suppose at the time of fasting, or at the time when the person is sick, suppose, so not able to eat properly. Now when not properly eat, then maybe the glucose level goes down in the blood. Now the blood level, the glucose level down. So here the nerves only inform that the glucose level down, and it's sent to the means brain, and brain send the information to the where the glycogen is stored. It convert it into the glucose and send to the blood again. So the energy flow is continue. I think so. This internally going on is, we don't know when the glucose level goes. It is controlled by the body. When the glucose is more, we don't know. The body knows about it, and then extra is converted into glycogen. When the glucose less down, means it's getting less in amount, required means less than the required amount, then the body gives the instruction itself, and that the stored glycogen means like when the less is there, the stored glycogen converted into glucose. When more glucose is there, that is converted again into the glycogen. So this goes inside only. This is controlled by the body. The organ send to the message to the brain, and brain send the message to the what you can say, to the organ, and they control their self. Our will is not there. We even don't know what the condition of the glucose is going inside. In the other way, so many examples related to this, means the all internal function, they are controlled by the internally by the organs or the brain, with the collaboration of their means they work like a team. They solve their issue their self, you can say. Got it? So parasympathetic nervous system, they just their function is to restore or establish back to the normal condition. Understood? So here is an example also given in your book. An example of autonomic response is that sympathetic nervous system increases the heartbeat, whereas parasympathetic nervous system slows it down. I told you, like at the time of running, like you just the heartbeat increases. Why? Because the more heartbeat, more number of breathing, so more oxygen means more respiration, more energy. So that energy level is controlled by this increasing the heartbeat. When that more energy is not needed, now the person is not needed more energy, then this heartbeat what you can say, restore that that again back to the normal condition, because now the body does not need for that extra energy. So they both the system are work simultaneously. Got it? The autonomous nervous system consists of sympathetic and parasympathetic. One is preparing for the action, another is taking back to the normal condition. Got it?
Ma'am, can I ask one thing?
Yes.
Actually, ma'am,
So your voice was not
okay, ma'am, I'll
clear.
ask you
You
after
can
this.
ask on my WhatsApp. I'll answer you. Okay. You can send whatever the query is there on my WhatsApp. So now the time
Okay, ma'am.
is over, and we'll little we revise this autonomic nervous system in the next class, and then we'll continue with the reflex section. Okay. So whatever I have done today, you just
Okay, ma'am.
revise all, and what I suggest to you, the related to the portion which I covered, if question answers or exercises are there related to that portion which I covered, start doing exercises related to the portion which I already covered in this chapter. Okay, because you people have
Alright,
done
ma'am.
of
Thank you.
third chapter. Today I will assign work, inshallah, on the app, and you just started posting the work there, and now you start fourth chapter also. Whatever the portion we covered, you start doing question answer exercises of that portion, and in the last we will discuss all the question answer and exercise as well. But whatever you feel like to do, you can do, because that reduce your burden, because at one time the whole exercises and question answers may be more. Okay. Okay, then, Assalamu alaikum.